Going. If you're here, then you're watching Unscripted with Danny DQ, presented by me. So, it's been a week since the pilot episode of Unscripted has aired. I'd like to thank anyone who has subscribed, or anyone who's liked the video, or anyone who's seen it. Greatly appreciative. All right, let's get into it. The 3rd of February Monday Night Raw edition. We saw Jey Uso come out to obviously the ovation that we were expecting, and further solidifying why he deserved to win the Royal Rumble, which I spoke about in the last video. And he was also a sleeper pick of mine. You see a lot of people online complaining about Jey Uso winning. And I think it's strange, because this is someone who, through the Bloodline storyline, has allowed himself to organically get over. So, I think he deserves this push, absolutely. We saw a really scathing promo from Gunther, if Jey was to pick him, saying that every week leading up to WrestleMania would feel like hell for Jey Uso. What I really will find interesting is what Jey and Cody's segment will be like. Will Jey pick Cody? There's rumors that maybe we'll see Homelander Cody, heel Cody, but we'll see. I don't know. That might be a bit of a long stretch. We saw Penta versus Kaiser, which I feel is probably Penta's weakest match since coming to Raw. I really thought his opening match was good with Chad Gable, and I thought his match with Pete Dunne was also good. Nothing on Kaiser. I just felt like this was his more weaker match since coming back. We saw Charlotte and Rhea Ripley have a confrontation, and I don't want to see them have a trilogy at WrestleMania, to be honest. Don't think it's necessary. Don't think it's needed. I think Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair is absolutely the way to go. But it's good. I sort of see what Triple H is doing. He's sort of playing around with the winners of the Royal Rumbles, meeting up with the different champions, and you sort of get to see possible future feuds that may happen down the line. We saw the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods addressed their exclusion from the Royal Rumble, and I was wondering if maybe they were going to touch on the fact that they weren't actually in the Royal Rumble. And they had a decent tag team match with Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio, and Logan Paul interfered at the end, and it sort of made sense that Logan Paul was there because that's his hometown, Cleveland, Ohio. And Logan attacked Rey Mysterio, and the New Day ended up winning. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the New Day's first week with a new theme as well. I could be wrong, though. We saw Liv Morgan versus Io Sky for the Elimination Chamber qualifying match, for the Women's Chamber match, with Liv winning by disqualification. And I think maybe this is planting the seeds for Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky, because Rhea Ripley was trying to help Io Sky, but inadvertently got Io DQ'd. So who knows, maybe we'll see some future tension between them, I feel. AJ Styles was drafted to Raw. Excellent addition to Monday Night Raw. We saw a bit of a teaser where maybe AJ will face Bron Breakker for the IC title. That is absolutely a program that I want to see. I'd love to see Bron sort of verse these really solidified legends, because that's really only going to further establish Bron's name and Bron's developing legacy on the main roster. We saw Seth Rollins come out, sort of amp up Sami Zayn before his chamber match against CM Punk, and we know that Seth is going to take on Finn Balor next week, and I think Seth Rollins will defeat Balor in that match. Really enjoyed the motivational speech from Seth. A little bit of manipulator vibes going on in there, because we know Seth's disdain for CM Punk. Now, I loved the main event. The main event started off with some great transitional sequences, headlocks, exchanges, just really good transitional wrestling started the match, which I thought was excellent. We saw the crowd in Cleveland chant for both CM Punk and Sami Zayn, and that sort of tells me that Sami Zayn still has a lot of momentum from the crowd from last year and the last 2 years where he was featured in the Bloodline. My favorite part of that match was the Bulldog to Blue Thunderbomb counter. That was awesome, and that was original, and that was something that we've never seen before. So that was really cool. That was excellent. And CM Punk going over was my prediction going into this show. And I believe that this year's Elimination Chamber will be absolutely stacked in the men's field. We now know that CM Punk and John Cena are going to be in that match. And my predictions are that Seth Rollins will join the field, that Logan Paul will join the field when he defeats Rey Mysterio next week. Maybe New Day get involved. And I think the final guy is Roman Reigns. I think that those 6 men were very heavily teased in the Royal Rumble match, and there's a lot of animosity, and they've all got their different stories. So I think we are going to see the most stacked Elimination Chamber match of all time in that Chamber match in March. What I wasn't expecting, but what sort of sets up Sami Zayn's time at the Elimination Chamber, or maybe WrestleMania, is when he got attacked by Kevin Owens with the package pile driver. This attack most likely came because Kevin Owens was upset that Sami didn't help him against his match with Cody. So I think we're going to see a Sami Zayn versus KO match either at the Elimination Chamber to keep them both busy, or perhaps at WrestleMania. So the 2 things I'm looking forward to going into SmackDown this Friday is to see what Jey Uso has to say to Cody Rhodes, what Kevin Owens has to say about Sami Zayn, and what will the confrontation between Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton entail. Find out in just a few days when I review the next episode of SmackDown right here on Unscripted.